Factory Race Series. That's what we're talking about today. This is the premium line of suspension coming from Fox and Agile Off-Road, specifically for the Mercedes Sprinter van. Now, you might ask when you see the price tag, why the hell would I pay for that for my Sprinter van? I'm going to explain that to you and talk about exactly how these dampers perform on the van, the benefits, and why you would want them on yours. So the Factory Race Series suspension package consists of several different components from Agile Off-Road and Fox. You've got an auxiliary bypass front shock. You've got an internal bypass coilover front strut. And then in the rear, you have an internal bypass rear shock along with the Agile Off-Road progressive rate leaf pack. All together with some wheel studs and spacers and a few other little components, you have the complete Factory Race Series kit for the Sprinter. You can pare this down and do just struts and rear shocks or just auxiliary shocks. You can switch it up kind of however you want, but if you want to go all in and have the best of the best, it would consist of the auxiliary shock, the coilover, the rear shocks, and a full progressive rear spring pack. So we tailor this specifically for the Sprinter van. The shocks and struts are pre-valved according to the weight of the Sprinter and how the Sprinter is used, both on and off-road. It's a balance of the best of both worlds. Race Series dampers have dual compression adjustment, so you can adjust your high and your low speed compression. And that brings me to my first point about compression. What is low versus high speed? A lot of folks will initially think, oh, high speed is when I'm on the freeway going fast, and low speed must be when I'm going slow. But what it's actually referring to is the speed at which the shock shaft is traveling. So whether it's your strut or your aux shock or your rear shock, a low speed impact or a low speed movement would be going through an uneven parking lot or hitting a G out or driving up a mountain road and having the van sway side to side. That's a low speed movement. A high speed movement is going to be hitting a pothole on the freeway at 60 miles an hour or hitting an expansion joint or driving on a washboarded road at 45 miles an hour. The high-speed movement refers to the shock shaft moving up and down at an extremely high rate of speed. If you hit a pothole at 65, the speed that your shock is moving to try and absorb that pothole is extremely fast. Same with washboards. So it doesn't have anything to do with how fast the van is going. It has to do with how the shock is moving. With these Race Series dampers, you can adjust high and low speed independent. So if you want to set your car up to perform very tight for a twisty mountain road, you can do that controlling your low speed damping. You can then change your high speed damping as you prefer to adjust for high speed movements. A lot of folks that we install these on tend to set it up for their preferred driving style where they're going to drive predominantly, and most of the time they kind of set it and forget it. Once you get it dialed into what you prefer, how you like your car to ride, it's really incredible how well it handles everything above and under that range, if you will. So while you can go out and adjust this to go maximum off-road, full soft, really open everything up for the maximum articulation, a lot of folks will find that set in the middle of the road where it rides really, really nicely on the highway, it actually performs incredibly well off-road as well without having to go and adjust your clickers. So you've got the option to adjust them, but most of the time, folks find that there's such a broad range of capacity within the damper itself that you really don't have to change it once you've set it where you prefer to drive it 90% of the time. So for the front end of this kit, we're going to start with the strut. This is the Factory Race Series strut. Internal bypass. It's a twin tube design. You've got dual compression adjusters here on the external reservoir, and it has a coil spring on the outside of the strut shaft. We run a neoprene coil saver that saves the seals on your strut, keeps everything clean, keeps the dirt and crap out. This can be run on its own. You don't have to run an auxiliary shock on here. You don't have to do anything else to the front end other than install this and add a wheel spacer so that your tire will clear the coilover. Most of the time, however, when we install an Agile kit, we're installing a strut of some sort with a coil spring along with an auxiliary front shock. In this case, we ran the Race Series external bypass front shock. It mounts to the Agile Off-Road aux shock brackets here on your lower control arm and up on the body. You can also use these same exact brackets and run a smooth body 2-inch Fox shock that's pre-valved, non-adjustable, and just use the adjustment on the strut itself for controlling how you want your dampers to respond. A lot of folks will choose to do that and save a little bit on the cost of the entire kit. But if you want to go all the way in and have the best of everything with the maximum adjustability, this is the setup you're going to go with. Moving to the rear of the van, we have the rear Race Series shock. This is, again, an internal bypass twin tube shock with dual control adjustment for the compression. So high and low speed compression on the rear of the van. You're going to want to set these up similar to however you set up your front shocks. You don't want to run a completely different setting on the rear versus the front. That would lead to some strange ride characteristics. So you're going to want to set those up rear and front about the same, but you do have a lot of tunability with this shock. Between the lowest and the highest setting, there is a huge range of adjustment that you absolutely will feel when you're driving. So a lot of times folks are used to getting in and having to adjust the shock, really turn it up one way or the other depending on what system you're used to. In this case, 1 to 2 clicks makes a massive difference in how the entire van feels. So when you do get this and you're trying it out, don't feel like you need to go from 1 all the way to 6 to experience a difference. Just 1 or 2 clicks, go drive it and see how it performs for you and see how you like it. To finish out the kit on the rear end of the van, again, we have wheel studs and spacers. This is to clear the front coils. In the rear, we put them on the back so that the stance of the vehicle stays the same from front to rear. The track width is the same. It does add 16 millimeters of track width per side, so 32 millimeters wider overall, and it just does add a little bit of extra stability to the car. We have the Agile off-road leaf spring pack. Now, these progressive rate flat leaf packs are built specifically for the Sprinter, and they come in a wide variety of weights. So you can buy a pack specific to your rear axle weight. It's critical that you know what your van weighs and what the rear axle weighs, and that will tailor your ride specific to how heavy your van is. In this case, the van is actually really light for most Sprinters. This is about 8,300 pounds with a 4,200 pound rear axle. So we went with a 4,200 pound leaf spring pack with 1 inch of additional arch built into the pack. So that gives him a nice tall ride height and a nice compliant 4,200 pound leaf spring so that he's not riding in a van that's oversprung simply to gain ride height. A lot of folks will ask about sway bars. There are a lot of sway bars on the market that you can buy as an aftermarket upgrade for your Sprinter. They ask, do I need a sway bar on my 2500 that is beefier than stock? And my answer is always no. Especially if you're going with the upgraded leaf pack and a shock package, you really don't need a beefier sway bar than the factory sway bar. It's more than sufficient in the case of this Sprinter with this particular setup, or even a standard rip kit with just a 2 or 2.5 inch body rear shock. Adding that super thick sway bar that you can buy aftermarket is kind of a band-aid fix. A lot of RV builders will use them and they'll put them on right from the factory in lieu of doing other suspension upgrades. It's a cheap way to add some extra stiffness to the rear and kind of prevent a little bit of that body roll, but it tends to add a lot of additional strain to your sway bar links, your sway bar mounting bolts on the axle, and it doesn't lead to an optimal ride quality. So I would highly recommend just sticking with the stock factory sway bar on your 2500 or your 3500 and then fixing your ride quality with proper shocks and proper leaf packs. When it comes to ride height, you don't want to set your ride height with a spring rate. So what I mean by that is you don't want to have a light van, say 8,300 pounds, and run a 6,000 pound rear spring just to get the rear end up in the air. You want to run the appropriate spring pack for your axle weight, basically what your van's going to weigh with all your stuff in it. And then you want to adjust your ride height using a spacer block between the spring pack and the rear axle if you need it. You'll notice here the upper shock mount on this particular Sprinter has the Agile off-road double-shear bracket. This is a must-have in my opinion if you're going to be doing suspension on your van, or if you're going to just leave it stock. I would always add a double-shear bracket anytime that you can. The reason behind adding this bracket is typically this shock is held in place with just a single bolt bolted through the frame. That shock bolt in one plane of shear. So washboard roads, off-road driving, just regular use with a heavy van, we see those shock bolts break all the time because there's literally one point of shear where the bolt goes through the frame. That is where the weak point is. I've seen those bolts break time and time again, and they're a pain to extract, and it's expensive when you have to get a tow home. So the double shear shock bracket puts this upper shock bolt into 2 planes of shear. It spreads the load out over a large area on the van's frame, And having that 2 planes of shear on your upper shock is absolutely critical. It makes it essentially bulletproof, so you don't have to worry about that bolt shearing off and ruining your trip or your wheeling experience. You can also choose to do lower double shears, which will add additional strength to your lower shock mounting point. Also additional protection on that lower shock should you want it. If you're into heavy off-roading, or you know you're going to be somewhere where there's a lot of rocks that you're going to be sliding over, I would recommend doing those brackets in that case, just to prevent that mounting point on the lower portion of the shock and help add protection to your suspension investment. When you get your kit installed, it does come with a owner's manual, and it has some recommended shock setting guides. And I would highly advise that you take a look at that sheet in the owner's manual and play around with those settings. So if you want to go out somewhere off-road, or maybe your favorite mountain road, and just adjust your clickers front and rear, get it dialed into your liking, definitely do that, give it a try. And I would recommend going from 1 all the way to 6 and really seeing how it affects your ride. And then you can kind of translate to yourself the difference between high and low speed compression and how that actually feels through the wheel and through the floor of the van as you're driving it. Again, there is a huge range from 1 to 6 on these shocks. It's not just a little bit. Each click makes a big difference in how they handle and perform and the way the van responds to inputs and road surfaces. So give it a try, play around with them, and find your preferred setting. These struts are designed by Fox specifically for the Mercedes Sprinter, and they've been side load tested for all the Sprinter platforms. So 2500, 3500 XD, these have been thoroughly load tested and side load tested like a strut should be for those heavy Sprinter vans. So you can rest assured that your van, whether it's a big Class C RV or a Class B or something light like this just for some off-road wheeling use, these struts will hold up to what you're throwing at it. Install process here at the shop consists of about a day and a half's worth of work. We'll install the entire suspension package that you've chosen on your van. We'll get wheels and tires back on it, and then we'll get it up on our alignment rack and do a 4-wheel alignment. Make sure that your front and rear axles are all where they need to be. Your wheels, your camber, your toe, everything is set like it should be so that you don't have excessive tire wear. Everything tracks and runs down the road nice and smooth, and you're optimizing your van's handling both on and off road. If you guys have any more questions on this kit or specific questions on the dampers themselves or install, anything like that, drop a comment below or give us a call directly here at the shop. Be happy to talk to you and talk you through any specific questions that you may have. If you'd like to get this installed, you can email us, sales@adrenaline-hq.com, or give us a call and we'll get you scheduled and have this installed in your van. This is, in my personal opinion, one of the best kits that you can have for the Mercedes Sprinter. It's realistically way more suspension than most anyone would ever use on a van. Most people are never going to drive this particular suspension to its full limit. Keep in mind, this exact shock setup is what they have on the Raptors, the Ranger Raptors, and your Polaris UTVs right out of the factory. So this is truly pre-runner suspension technology here in your Mercedes Sprinter van. You put this on, you're not gonna find it lacking. I've driven this stuff to the max on my personal van, and I've yet to find the limit. So I'm extremely impressed with it, and I highly recommend this to customers who want the best for their ride. Thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you here at the shop.